Sorry, okay. Okay.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, September 27th regular meeting of the Clay Township Board. 6 p.m. Called to order at 6:01. If we could rise, Mary to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a do we have a recognition this week? Okay.
Nope.
Approval of minutes from the August 23rd board meeting.
I was not at the meeting. Can I move to approve them anyway? All right. I move to approve the minutes of the August 23rd board meeting.
And I second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 2-0. Open up the public hearing on the 2017 proposed budget. Is that, do you have to open it up?
Sure.
All right, I declare the public meeting open at 6:02. Seeing no public to comment, we will close the meeting at 6:03. Any public comments? And wait, somebody's walking in.
It's a woman.
Oh, no, that's our speaker information.
Okay. Hearing none. We'll move on. Action items, adoption of the 2017 holiday schedule.
Doug. We're going to go ahead and just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I move that we accept the adoption of the 2017 holiday schedule.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 2-0. Okay, resolution number 2016-9-27-01 regarding donation of fire truck. Doug?
The information I sent you is I had our attorney, our attorney go through it, and I've got Chief Bob Van Horst and Chief Obi Bowles here, and the fire department that's asked for the donation from Lafayette Township in Madison County. So Chief, which other one of you want to get up?
Hi, Lauren. We have a...
Your name, sir?
I'm Bob Van Horst, Maintenance Division Chief at the Carmel Fire Department. We have a 1996 pumper, which the township, we found out the township owns. We actually have two of them. This is the one of two that were bought back in 96 that was replaced just recently, ran for 20 years at various stations. Doug, I don't remember where that truck came into when we got it. It ended up ending its career at Station 46.
Excuse me, Chief, just for a minute.
Sure.
That would take down to 97. You sure it's not a 97?
That may be the 97.
Yeah, I thought, okay.
There were three trucks that were bought that year. The early one was bought in early 96, and the two were bought in...
96 was a Ford.
I was called a 96. Ford's was a 96.
So these two were 97.
These two were 97s. Okay, so corrected, 97. So this truck, we looked at trading these trucks in when we bought our two new Pierces. Trade-in value on the used fire trucks is just horrendous. It's just, I think we were offered $15,000 for this truck, and it's a running, pumping, frontline truck. We took it from service. So the township was had it. You know, we looked at donating it to the Lafayette Township of Madison County. It's a Madison County volunteer fire department. This is the chief.
Chief, you might also want to say why you're taking it out of service, because the way you operate as far as every 15 years.
Yeah, we usually routinely run our trucks 15 years frontline, 5 years reserve for about a 20-year life cycle. We usually find that at the end of 20 years, our trucks are running about 100,000 miles, actual road miles. They probably have over 300,000 miles on them with engine hours, if you calculate out the engine hours. That truck has done us well. I think we pulled the invoice on that. What did we pay? $258,000.
Yeah.
$258,000. They're $550 now, brand new. So That truck has done us well, it's served its life, but technology has changed so much. I mean, that truck has regular lap belts, no shoulder harnesses. Our new trucks have airbags, roll protection. You know, the technology changes so much in 20 years that not only is the truck worn out, it's being surpassed in technology, safety factors that our new trucks have. So it was pulled from service. Like I said, routinely we run 15 years frontline, 5 years reserve. This truck spent its whole 15 years frontline, or 20 years frontline at Station 46, and it was pulled from service. Its twin truck is running as our training division truck right now. So we're using that truck in training division. Any questions?
Chief, do you want to speak
Yes,
to
I'll
your
speak.
need?
Then don't we have to put this as a resolution?
Good evening, my name is Mike Pelser, I'm the Chief of Lafayette Township Fire Department. We, as Lafayette Township Fire Department, just became a fire station. We were previously Frankton Fire Department. With the budget that we had, we can no longer sustain that fire service for our township, so our trustee took over the fire station. And this happened 2 years ago. Recently, we've updated two of our, well, we have gotten rid of two of our older trucks. We've been running trucks from 1968 and 1974 tanker trucks. They were just no longer in service. The insurance companies wouldn't insure them anymore. So we are putting forth a plan within the next 3 to 5 years to try to purchase a new truck. But as you guys know, as a township board, how hard it is to manage money with a brand new fire station. It's pretty hard to get money set aside and everything. So when this truck came available, we're trying to do everything we can to get it. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be willing to answer.
I don't have any questions for you, and we're so far down the path here, and I think it's great, but I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't speak up that
Yeah.
if it has a $15,000 value and we're giving it away, that's $15,000. I mean, it's taxpayer dollars from Clay
Right.
Township paid for that, and now it's not even going to our county. I mean, it's not even, it could go to the volunteer department up in Cicero, or, I mean, I just want to express that as I take issue with giving taxpayer purchase money and not even keeping it in Hamilton County. But I think it's, you guys have a need, and if you know, we like help out fellow fire departments, but.
Let me ask you on that. What happened to Frankton? Now, what transitioned there?
We were, Frankton Fire Department covered a 77 square mile township, was what our township covered, was 77 square miles. We were working off of a $62,000 a year budget, running about 220 runs a year. Our insurance payment was $30,000 just to have our liability insurance, to have fuel costs, and we couldn't update any equipment. There was just no money there after doing it off of a $62,000 budget. We tried to do everything we could for years and years, and then just finally got to the point where we couldn't supply an adequate fire coverage for our township residents, and that's when the trustee took us over, because we were an independent corporation at that time. So now we're owned by the trustee.
I've got a question that I'd like to ask you. You're getting a truck that isn't updated.
Yes.
What are you going to do about regulations that, can it be used without having all the things that you were talking about that we have in our
Yeah, I
trucks?
can speak a little bit of that, Mary, that
You come to the mic,
the
please.
new trucks, it's just a standard change. It meets all of the pump standards. It was pump tested last year. The ladders were tested. It meets all of the standards that apply to a truck of that age. So when NFPA makes changes to fire trucks, they don't retro them back. That apply to all new trucks. One thing that Chief Bowles brought up, there were two of these trucks. The city recently, or the fire department through the EMS fund recently purchased two trucks. And there are two trucks that are out there. There's this truck and then another truck that was bought in early '96. That truck we're looking at, which actually the city owns that truck. Back in '96, there was township trucks and city trucks. The city actually owns that truck. That truck is looking to either go to a Hamilton County department or the Hamilton County Fire Training Center that has been kind of in the news a lot lately. We're kind of looking at that truck going in that direction as a city donation, so if that helps out. That's kind of what we're looking at those. Those two trucks, like I said, that are out there. We kind of looked at, yes, it's a $15,000, but they're worth a lot more. I mean, the people that buy these trucks, they like to consign them and sell them, and just.
I mean, I just look at, next meeting, we're approving money for the grant requests, and that's $15,000 that could go to any of these causes that feed people.
Well,
I mean, but, you have a need. I mean, and I don't doubt that, and I think it's wonderful, and if it votes to do it, great. I just question in the future if maybe we can have discussion before we get this far down the path. I mean, I'm not going to snatch this away from this chief. I mean, he's expecting it at this point.
And you might move up there sometime.
Well, you know how we've always been about, if we're going to sell this, what we need to do to either keep it or sell it, and then we figure out the money that we're either losing or gaining, and we weren't in on this decision.
Okay, but wait a minute. This is why I don't have a problem with it, okay? We're looking at a department, okay, whether it's in our county or the county next to us, okay? These are lives we're talking about. This is a department that's 2 years old and they couldn't even afford, if we sold it to them for $15,000, they couldn't afford it. So from my standpoint, if a department comes to us and for a vendor to give me $15,000 for a truck like that, that's a smack in the face as far as I'm concerned. I literally smack in the face. I would prefer giving it to a department that can afford these things, give it to them, then sell it to a vendor for $15,000 that's going to end up selling it for ungodly amount, which is not right. So I have a big issue with this.
But I think that we're talking about the process, Doug, not necessarily the end result. It's the process of being left out of the decision, whether we agreed or not with one another. We'd probably go through with it. It's just that, shouldn't we be involved in discussions like that?
But you had it before the weekend. You could have called me or called the chiefs. I mean, that's the thing.
We're all together now.
When I give it to you, it's something that you need to look at and call me and go from there. I mean, that's the way I look at it. You know, when I give you I wish I could give you your packets in the week before. The only problem is we have last minute things that come up that we stick in there, and I don't like that. But I would think no more than it's on this agenda, we're talking about 3 or 4 days where you look at it and say, hey, I got some questions with this. Okay, and if you want to table it, you can always table it too. So, I'm not shoving anything over on you. I'm just going from the standpoint of when I worked for the fire department or any government entity, I would look from that perspective. I mean, 15,000, okay, yeah, I mean, I guess we could, but we're just looking at places that could really need this, that could really use this. I think we gave one to White River Township.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my problem. But if you talk about the process, you can always table it and we can talk about it later. I mean, it's strictly up to you guys.
I don't have a problem giving them the truck. I just wanted to express my concern that's
fine.
the Clay Township tax dollars are now going to a completely separate entity. And that's my issue, and I'll move on from it. I think we can call a vote.
I'm sorry, real quickly, I want to be sure you're looking at the right resolution, because we didn't get a chance to look at the one that came out at first, and I made some changes. It says in the first recital clause, Indiana Code 36-111, 5.7.
Yes.
Is that the one you have?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah, and I beefed up I just updated the form. It is an out-of-county transfer, so a different statute applied, and I beefed up the waiver.
So we waive all liability once this is out.
They waive all.
They can't.
Yeah.
We're indemnified.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Would you like to call this?
And that's probably another concern we would have, that if we sold it to, but still, you could still sign the waiver, so yeah, it doesn't make any difference, okay.
I make a motion that we pass the resolution number 2016-09-27-01, the resolution to sell the truck, to give away the truck to the volunteer fire department.
I second.
We have motions been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries 3-0. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you, guys. I very much appreciate it, and you will be receiving a letter from us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And you'll be hospitable if we pop in one day to take a look at it.
Information.
Fire construction update. I don't see John.
John's not here, and I told him about this a couple of weeks ago. But Chief Bowles, would you like to say anything about where, I mean, everything's getting finalized, right? So if you want to say something,
He knows as much as anybody does.
Well, thank you.
and your name, please?
My name's Orby Bowles, I'm the Assistant Chief of the Carmel Fire Department. And just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to speak on something that has been a great opportunity for us. And thank you, sir, very much. I'm happy to say that the fire department is currently underway. We're moving in as we speak. Things are going really, really well. I think a lot of time, effort, and a thought has gone into this process, and we thank you very much. I wish I could give you a date for an open house, but we haven't gotten that date, I don't believe, just yet.
I think I got a phone call yesterday.
The 13th is a general open house for the public.
Okay.
Kind of like a grand opening for the station.
Ninth?
That's kind of, I think.
That's
that
what I've
may
got
be
written down as the 9th, but it wasn't
Finalized.
finalized.
Right.
Yes, I've got the 9th in my
Okay,
calendar.
we have to check those dates. But,
Oh.
Absolutely. But no, the station's come along really well. We are we are in the process of tidying up a few loose ends. The construction company has removed all the materials, all the workers, and now we're just kind of patching and touching up wall paint and bumps and carpet. They're shampooing carpets and taking care of things like that. But it's looking really good. This is the last project of 3 that you guys allowed to do, actually. So I think there's going to be a meeting coming up with our construction manager at a later date to talk about overall costs. I don't know the date on that. I just received a phone call today, and I think he's going to schedule that for a future time. So, but I can answer any questions possibly on anything that you guys might have for me, but I wanted to say thank you. The men and women that are moving in these stations and the training center, the utilizing training center, are just absolutely elated. They can't believe. I've had so many comments, positive comments about Station 44 in particular. I received several emails. They've talked about how the station fits in, how they love it. I was standing out front talking to the contractor, a quick story, and a young lady pulled by and she was waving to me. She was like, "Welcome back to the neighborhood." And so I was going to wave as she drove by. So it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. And truly, want to thank you. But if you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer.
Do you have any gut feeling how, I doubt we're under budget, but how much over
Oh, it's
budget?
under budget.
If there's anybody you can trust on that, it's him.
So, I'm not sure, but I know that we are right at budget for sure.
All right.
Good, my fire fund could like that money back.
Okay, we're not that close.
I'd just like to thank you. I've been on several tours with the chiefs, and just interesting. He can do things with this part from here that goes on here, or this part, you move this screw. I've never seen anything like it in my life. You
A lot
really
of
are
moving parts,
something.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We did repurpose a lot of things from the old station that we've used at the training facility currently. HVAC, HVAC units, overhead doors, cabinetry, a lot of stuff was repurposed. So again, we try to be as fiscally responsible as we possibly could as well, knowing that there are, means that are being watched. So we do appreciate it. It was not taken lightly.
In case we get some questions on it, when will that building be moved from the elementary?
That actually is in the process currently. There's a few steps that we have to take. Talking about the old
The shed thing?
Well, that's the shed that was at the house that we were staying in. That's going to be moved off school property. That's underway currently. So I'm saying probably by the end of October, that should all be buttoned up, and that property should be put back the way it was when we found it.
Aren't you moving it out to the training center?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Yes, we are moving that, repurposing that as well. So,
Repurpose.
yeah, that's it, exactly. So,
Well, I can tell you, the mayor of Greenfield, Chuck Fuel, called me and asked me if I could show him that. So the buzz is spread, so
Good,
he's going to
absolutely.
be coming up
Yeah.
here in a couple weeks to take a look.
absolutely. Give me a call. I'm more than happy to take you guys through it, take whoever through it. Miss Eckert, she's been a couple times, I think, as you
Yes.
stated, and try to give the full 9-yard tour there. So but, it's really nice. You guys should stop by and see it. But job well done. All involved.
Thank you.
Nice job. Thank you.
Dina, real quick, hey Doug, will you tell, along the lines of fire, can you share the story about the screening that you shared with me on Saturday? The medical screening?
That you're paying for the screening of the firefighters.
The screening,
Physicals.
the physicals?
About the gentleman that had colon cancer?
Oh, and he will be here at our next meeting. Yeah, one of the firefighters, and he wants to, I went up and talked to him Friday at his house, and he'd already had the surgery, but basically, we have a firefighter that's had colon cancer, and he is very appreciative of you guys for continuing on with these physicals. He had colon cancer, and now it has jumped to his liver, but they think they can use the seeds or whatever to remove, because it's on the exterior of the liver, the cancer there, and they think they can get that to go away. But they've
Can I
removed,
suggest we perhaps you not talk any further about this individual's medical condition?
well, I mean, he's gonna tell you the next meeting.
The point is that the screenings we
Yes.
pay for caught something early.
Yeah, the screening cost something, he's very appreciative, but he is just overjoyed because we started this, and he will, like I say, he will tell you, he's so appreciative, he just started telling me everything right down the road.
Well,
I said,
we'll let him tell us
we'll
next
let-
month,
that's
next
fine.
week. I didn't
And
know
he will
he
be
was
here the
coming.
11th, so.
But I just wanted to have you make the statement that these screenings are saving lives.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I'm limping today. It's my dog's fault.
Uh-oh.
I took
Thank
him
you.
for a run, and he was so excited, he tripped me. And I sprained an ankle, so I
Oh, dear.
spent 2 days home, ordering people around. It was wonderful. I am Dina Birchman, the director of the Trinity Free Clinic, and I just wanted to give you a mid-year report so that you know where we are spending your tax dollars. I wanted to let you know that we served 325 of our Clay Township residents during 737 visits. I gave you the list of all of the medical services that we provide, just for your information, but just know that patients come in to see us for any reason, meaning we will have during a Saturday acute clinic the sore throat, but then we will also have the skin cancer. So you name it, we've seen it, and we, if we can't fix it, we know who can. We really consider ourselves the safety net for the community. So when someone stays in between jobs and they become ill, they come to us, we take care of them until they're back on their feet. If we have a senior who can't afford a dental plan with Medicare, no problem, we'll take care of their teeth. In the next page, I gave you the list of the top diagnoses for the patients for Clay Township. Now, I'm not gonna read all of these diseases to you, but I thought perhaps it might be interesting to you to see what are the kind of things that we see. As you can see, most of the things are acute because that's what we do. We take care of, we are not a primary care. Because if we were a primary care, then we could only see a much smaller number of people. We want to be able to catch everybody who needs it at the time. And that's why most of our patients are transient. We see them for a year, they get on their feet, and then we don't see them again. Well, that's the point, right? However, some of these conditions that you see are chronic, like the diabetes or the hypertension. So what we do is that we find them a primary care home. So we make the connection for them. We find them a place where a doctor will see them on a regular basis. Note that the second highest diagnosis for Clay Township is depression. And I'll touch on that a little bit further here in a minute. I wanted to show you all of the lab tests that we did for the township. And out of the 215 that we did, 89 of them were abnormal, and something was wrong with the patients, and we were able to address all of those issues. And also all of the additional services, such as just the physical exams, physical therapy, eye exams, and prescription glasses given in the first half of the year. Now, real quick about the depression care. In all of the needs assessments done in the county, mental health is right there up, it's on the top of one of the major needs in the county. And it is a very difficult issue to address, but because we see so many, what we do at the clinic is whenever we see that there is a great need in the community for whatever, then we figure out how to make it happen for our patients. So we started the Hope Abounds pilot. We were just gonna put our toe in the water to see how could we deal with this mental health crisis. And this started back in February. We don't screen all of our patients. We only screen the patients in the women's clinic or the acute clinic during the week. And we take them to a screening, and if they are in mild to moderate depression, they're admitted into the program. If they're severe, then we will refer them out to Aspire. And basically what the program is life coaching. We assign each one of our patients a life coach, and there's a nurse in charge. We discovered that as the pilot went along, why don't we do physical exams and a full lab work on these patients, because maybe their depression is caused by a physical ailment. So when we started with, for example, vitamin D, if you have low vitamin D, then that will help you be depressed. Well, out of the first 9 patients that we did their lab tests, 8 were very low in vitamin D, and 1 had a thyroid condition. So we thought, okay, great, let's catch all of the physical reasons that it could cause patients to be depressed. Then we have, I'm not gonna tell you the entire process because it's a lot, but basically each patient is assigned a life coach who calls the patient every week, and they sit down and they work on, let's talk about your sleep, let's talk about how you're eating, let's talk about your exercise, let's set up goals for you. And after 4 weeks of that, we rescreen them. And then we have been fortunate to get therapists from the community that have volunteered, and they will give free counseling sessions, therapy to our patients. So we have, if they don't improve with us, we send them to counseling. So I'm happy to report that we have seen, and we have graduated from the program 14 of our Clay Township residents in 51 different visits that they've had. And just to give you an example, right before I left, I asked my medical director, quick, give me a story the township is gonna wanna hear. And we had a gentleman who was unemployed, and he was moderately depressed, who entered the program. And he came back to us and said, I have a job now. And I have to say that the fact that I knew that I was gonna have to sit in front of my life coach every week and tell them, yes, I did walk at 10,000 steps, or no, I didn't, and this is the reason why I'll do better next week. And basically he was accountable to someone. He told us that that really helped him to improve and get a job and be completely off the program. Okay. So we're very excited about it, and we wanna keep expanding it. So thank you so much for all of your support. And we will continue to take care of all of our sick people in the township. Do you have any questions?
I wanted to ask you, what exactly do you take in that you have a shop or someplace that people can come and buy things? Clothes, plates?
Oh, okay, so I see what you mean. The Trinity Free Clinic is located on the campus of Our Lady of Montcalm Church.
Right.
But we are a separate nonprofit from the church. But we live in this big brick building called the Matthew 25 Center. So we have our clinic with the 6 dental chairs and the 6 exam rooms. And we are next door to the Merciful Help Center. That is part of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And that is led by Jane Slayton. that facility has the food pantry and the baby clothes and all that other support that our patients might need. So very often we swap people. For example, we had a lady come in that she came and she said, I am homeless, I have a toothache, and I'm hungry. So we brought her in, we fed her, we took care of her teeth, then we called Merciful Help and sent her over there to take care of all the other issues. So to answer your question, no, we don't have a shop, we don't sell anything, we just provide free medical and dental care, and we live next door to Merciful Help that also provides all free care. Have you visited the Trinity Free Clinic? Have you toured it?
I have, yes.
Okay. I don't know if you've done it recently since we moved to our new building.
No, and I remembered bringing some things over there at one time, and I wasn't sure if they were being sold or if I was donating them to give to someone, or...
That it was for the Merciful Help, because we don't
Okay.
we are just purely medical and dental.
It is confusing though, because you walk
Yeah.
in the same door
Yeah.
and you're on the right and they're on the
Yeah.
left.
But it is extremely convenient for us because we will take care of a patient and realize they have all these needs that Jane next door can take care of. So we walk them next door, and then she's seeing a client that has all these medical needs, and she'll walk them next door to us. So we make a good team.
Have you run into, or do you have a policy now that you're doing the lab work? What do you do if you discover in their urine sample that they're on some sort of narcotic or?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, we don't test for drugs because usually if a person has, oh wow, that's a hard question. Usually the kind of tests that we do are like for the pap exams or for their blood to see if their levels are low, or for the vitamins. We don't test for drugs because we're not really looking for drugs.
Okay.
Right. But the lab work is extremely important that we can pay for that for our patients. I'll give you an example. We had a 16-year-old come who had been bleeding for 4 months, right? And when our nurse asked her, well, where's your mother? I have no mother. Where's your father? He's in jail for sexual molestation of a minor. Okay, she's all by herself. So we called Child Protective Services. They gave us a permission to treat the child. She would not go to the emergency room. She said, I cannot pay for that. I'm not going to go. And besides, they're just gonna turn me away. Okay, so we called after we did everything we could for her, we gave her paperwork to go get her lab done for free. Then we got on the phone with Child Protective Services, and we begged them to go check on her. The next morning, we get the lab results back. Her hemoglobin level was so low. Low level is 6.8, she was 4.8. So we call her house, nobody answers. So we ended up calling the police. They go to her house, she's not there. We called the school, the high school, and they said, we've never heard of her. But she's an immigrant, this child. So we ended up calling the hospital, and she was there. And what had happened was that officer from the Child Protective Services, he went to the house, and he assured her that he would take her to the emergency room because our nurse had told him, please take her, because this situation really has to happen. So she felt that, well, if he takes me to the emergency room, then they'll take me. And of course, that's what happened, and she was getting a transfusion. And because she came to us and we got Child Protective Services involved, they basically took over this child and gave her protection, and now they're going through the process of making her a citizen and giving her, protection. So that's why we do labs.
You guys are a fantastic asset. Just
Well, we love doing
incredible.
what we do, and we thank you. And by the way, we're having our 5K race, which is a very fun family event that last year funded the purchase of our new panoramic x-ray machine. And this year, we are trying to cover the cost of our pediatric clinic. So, thank you.
I will be out of town. Not that I do it anyway, because I don't do run.
Oh,
but
that's okay. We can do face painting and balloons with
But we'll make a
things like that,
contribution.
too.
They also use Station 42, which
Mhm.
the board gave approval, and they move a lot of furniture.
I
talked to them a lot, and the furniture is turned over so rapid. It's there, and then the next day it's gone. But it's amazing how much they go. And they go, I thought it was just Hamilton County, but it's not. They go a lot of other places too.
So are you essentially responsible for the management of that building then?
Yeah.
Can we, instead of, I turned around in there today, can we call the utility company and have the electrical wire fixed instead of just putting a sign that says, "Don't hit this wire"?
I didn't see that. I usually go in the front, so I don't go in the back.
And I'm not dogging you, but I think it's becoming to be a little bit, I think we owe the community maybe some updates to that, either painting it or the hedges need trimmed, just,
I think what we're gonna do too is, there's some work that needs to be, landscaping that needs to be done.
Yes.
Yes, very
And I'm
much.
even looking at getting it paved next year, paving that parking lot, because, you know, it's so easy for somebody just to fall over. And the bushes, I'd like to just get them yanked out of there. So, yeah, we're gonna do some work to it next year, to help fix it up, because they do a lot to help maintain it as much as they can.
Sure.
But because they are so appreciative. And I just talked to Jerry Newkirk the other day, and he says, you know what, he said, you guys are saving us from going from 5 different locations to pick up furniture. It's all there.
well, I think it's great, and I'm glad,
So-
I'm happy with the operation, I just think the building needs some attention.
Yeah, let's earmark some funds to
And then also,
maintain that building.
one thing I think of, kind of immediate, there's a refrigerator out back that either needs to be taped shut or removed, because,
Oh, I didn't see that.
That
That
people-
shouldn't be.
that's how-
Or taken off.
or the door's taken off of it.
Yeah,
just
that
so.
shouldn't be. I would hope that they don't put anything outside in that area.
Well, there's just a refrigerator by the back door that
Okay.
I noticed
Okay.
today. Budget adoption, next meeting?
Oh, yeah, it's October the 11th, so it's the second Tuesday. Is that right? The third Tuesday, that's second Tuesday. Anyway, it's 2 weeks from today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll have our adoption of our budget. There's a couple other things. We'll have that firefighter, he wants to really thank you guys. He hugged me, I didn't think he was gonna let me go, but anyway, he really is appreciative, and he said, I'll talk to anybody that wants to hear my story. So I said, well, I'm sure the board would love to hear your story, and, you know, I'll pass it on. Well, I won't pass it on already. So we'll get together, and you'll see him then. I think there was another thing that I can't think of right now, but we'll have, so it could be a lengthy meeting.
Oh,
So, yes.
no, nothing, I'll talk to you about it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Any financial questions?
No, I don't.
No.
Any further comments?
Well, I'd like to apologize for being late. I left plenty of time. There was some sort of a police action on the east side on 465. Did you hear about that?
I got tied up.
Oh, my
too,
gosh.
so.
And they had some gal handcuffed against the hood, 3 lanes of traffic, or 2 lanes blocked. It was a
It's a
mess.
shame.
Anyway, sorry I'm late, and I'm sorry I missed a couple of pretty important parts.
I'd just like to thank all of you for coming, and we hope that you love the fire engine and have a great time making it useful in your community. And as always, it's great to have people from our fire station here. Thanks, Orby, and your other chief, thank you. And Angie, goodness sakes, look how pretty you look, and you didn't have anything you had to really say tonight. Thank you
Unless
for
you'd like
coming.
to recite a few words.
Well, Chief, congratulations. Thank you guys for the update. Dina, pleasure. Keep up the great work. Can we move for adjournment?
Do
Announcements.
you have any announcements?
No.
Just a couple things. Debbie made you guys a spreadsheet for the
Yes.
grants, which you'll be looking over or talking about next to the 11th. Also, there was an update on a grant that you got, so you just replaced this one with the one you got about a month ago. Paul, I think yours about a week ago.
Right,
Uh,
right.
So anyway, if you have anything else, and again, I ask you guys, anytime you see something on this agenda that you don't understand, that you absolutely disagree with or whatever, please give me a call. Okay, please give me a call. And I really try, I'd love to get those out a week ahead of time. It just seems like there's things that come up that we have to add, and I just don't have to change our agenda and then re-advertise and everything. So anyway, I will try to always get it out earlier, but feel free to call me, whether it's at home or in the office. You all got my, all of you have my email, or my phone number,
We should have some
cell number, so
discussion
feel free to call me. Okay, that's what I'm here for you guys, and the community, of course.
I have one more thing. I wanted to, we all got letters from Al Patterson.
Yes.
Appreciation. Al's the Hamilton County Parks Director. We contributed to his event, his Floratopia event, which was fantastic.
It was.
I love the County Parks Initiative. I do think they do a fantastic job with a limited budget. And I do want to plant the seed for their new project that's within Clay Township for a new facility at Coxhill Gardens. Maybe we can start having discussion about whatever kind of assistance, if any, we can provide for them on that over the next, after we get through the budgets.
Okay. Go ahead, and then I got something else, is, there's a lot of things going on in October. Let's see, the first, which is this Saturday, Chief Bob Hensley's retiring. The second is the dedication of the maintenance facility over there at 106 and Gray. The 9th is a questionable for 44s, I guess. That's what time I got it. The
Park Department.
Captain Spellbring's retiring. That's our clerk's husband. He's retiring from the fire department. On the 12th, Chief, isn't that right?
And 12th is the grand opening of the park.
Yeah, that's all the same thing. The state of the city is that day, and then it's his retirement. And then, you're right, it's the ribbon cutting for the playground. And Mary, you need to be there. Remember, that was a big deal of yours.
Wow.
We already know what I have.
I know, but
What time is the dedication for the training facility?
2 to 4.
is it 2 to 4?
2 to 4, right.
And then, of course, 44s will, I'm sure it'll be out there. Everybody will publicize it and everything.
Well, I hope it's the 9th, because that's the only day that I can make it, and I really want to be there for that. And today is the last day for the splash park out there, to shut it. Actually, I'm going to go shut it down when I leave here.
All right.
So, just because some lousy weather coming up, and
Yeah,
I just don't think.
60 degrees now, it's look cool.
Yeah.
It's nice.
German, anything?
I make a move that we adjourn.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned at 6:42. Thank you, everybody.